everyone, it's Kathy Champion and you're back with me at Random Acts of Crafting, and today we're going to be centering in again on the E-Club kit. Edith always does such a good job in selecting the patterns, the paper, and everything for these club kits. And look at some of these little cut-aparts. I think they're absolutely beautiful, and because we have entered into November, and I know this is the October kit, but most of us don't get this until later in October, and I like to run it through the middle part of November until the new kit comes in. And I'm sure that the kit that comes in, I'm not sure if it'll be Thanksgiving or if it'll be Christmas, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. I love this little give thanks. And in all things give thanks, thankful and blessed. I love these because that's what I'm pulling out of this paper pad. And also in the kit, we also got a separate little paper pack that had these polka dots. And I absolutely love plaid and polka dots together. So I pulled out these cut-aparts, because I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, and I thought I'll just bring you along for the ride. And this particular pattern I thought would pair, or color would pair very well with this, so that's what I was trying to do. And then I thought I had half a piece of this beautiful pumpkin colored cardstock, and I thought this will be perfect for our card. Now let me make sure this is it's 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score this in the middle at 4 1/4. So let's lay our pieces over to the side, and I'm going to get out my trimmer / score. And if you don't have a trimmer like this, you can do this on your scoreboard. Just put it in and then score it at 4 1/4. And that's pretty much what I'm doing right here. So I'm just going to score that, and then give it a good fold. And this is a really heavy cardstock. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love the quality of a good heavy cardstock. And one thing that you will find in Edith's club kits is her products are usually top-notch. She doesn't send you really, inexpensive, I won't say cheap, that doesn't sound like a very good word to use, but she will send you nice pieces. So I think what I'm going to do next is I want this piece to mat on top of this. So I'm going to cut this piece down. So let's pull our trimmer back up, and I am going to cut this. Let's cut our little edge off first, and get that little branding strip off of there. And now we can cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then this is going to mat right here on top of that. Very, very pretty. I love it. I love the way that's going to look. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to make a oval, and I'm using these Gina Marie nested scallop stitch ovals. I love these. I think they're so pretty, and I think I'm going to go for this one right here. And I'll tell you what, the size of this one, so if you don't have this particular die set, you can look at your dies and get what you have that might work. And this is measuring at 2 3/8 wide by 3.5 long. And I think this is the one that I want to use. I believe that is what I want to do. So I want to cut this out of here because I think it's going to be so pretty to have that scallop on the front. But I want to check and see if this is going to fit in there, because I want this piece right here to fit in the middle, and it looks like it will. We will have to doctor around it a little bit, not a big deal. We'll work on that in just a minute. But I do want to go ahead and run this through my die machine. So I'm just going to bring it over here, and we're going to do a quick die cut on it. Bring this back over and show you our cut. You have to sometimes be a little bit careful when you're pulling the cardstock away from the die, especially when you have the stitch dies, because it is cutting that stitching in there, which I think is super cute. Now I want to frame this right here on the front, something like that. So let me move this out of my way. And I think what I want to do is maybe get, let's see if we can do one of these. What if we do it this way? I like that one, but I think this is going to give much more of a punch on the front of this card. I'm going to look and see. Let's see if this next size oval will cut that out. If not, yeah, that's not quite what I wanted. Let me look at my oval dies again. And let's see if we can find a plainer die that we can cut that out with. Let's see if this will fit on here. It does. And let's see if this will fit here. And that looks really pretty. That's pretty much what I was thinking. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this one out with this die. And these I think are Brutus Monroe. No, they're Sizzix dotted ovals. And these have a nice little dot on them. I try to always label my dies so that when I'm using them I can tell you what brand they are, so that if you are so inclined to want to purchase those, you can go and look for those. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to take, I'm going to cut this down. I really want to cut this in half. Just like this. Making sure I'm getting that even on there. And we're going to slice right up there. Now I can just cut this piece and not have to worry. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just cut this whole piece off. That way we don't have to worry about messing up our other elements that we could use for another card, which is always a good thing to do. I'm going to take this over to my die machine. Okay, as you can see, I cut this and there was a bit of a boo-boo on it. It actually cut the edge of it at a weird little angle. Let me lay it on a piece of white cardstock and maybe you can see that a little better. See how it kind of squared it off right there. And there was another little place right here. So I thought to myself, how can I still salvage this piece? And anytime that you have a mishap, try to think outside the box and figure out how you can fix that. So I went back into my dies and I used the same oval dies that I cut this with. And what I did was I used the die the size that this is and the one larger one, and I made myself a frame. Now by framing this just like that, we can camouflage our boo-boos. Just a little bit, enough so we can get by with using this without any issue. Now if you want to even bring it in a little bit more, what I would suggest is this piece that we cut the first go round, we'll lay this on here and then we will glue this over top after we glue this down. So let me let me show you what I'm talking about. And we also still have another one of these that we can use. You know, we might be able to do it this way. We just might be able. No, I think I still like it better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece over and use it on a different project. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use some two-sided snail. And I'm just going to put a little adhesive on here, like that. And then I'm going to see if I can center this up on here. About like that. Oops, maybe over just a little bit. And then we can glue this down, and we will have a perfect little frame to go around this. Now if you wanted to do this out of a brighter color, you could, but I like the mutedness because it kind of makes it look cohesive, all one piece, and I like that. I am going to use my brown marker right here, and I think I'm going to use the, let's see if this one will work. And these are Stampin' Blends from Stampin' Up, because as many of you know, I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. This color looks just about perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that back, and I'm just going to knock this down just a tiny bit. Just like that. And that'll make that a little less obvious at that bottom edging. So then what we can do is we can come back in with some liquid glue, and let's see, what did I do with my bottle? I'm just going to use a little bit of art glitter glue for this. And I'm going to run, maybe I'll do it on this piece. I'm going to run just a tiny little bit of glue. You don't need a large bead, just a very small, minute amount all the way around. And this is just another way of how you can cover up when you have a mishap on a piece. And you can still make it work. Always try to salvage your pieces, because if you can cover it, color it, or whatever that needs to be done to make that piece work on your card, by all means do it. It's a great tool to have, is to know how to make something work when it doesn't seem to want to work. So I'm going to lay this over here and let it dry. I did make a mess right here, but that's alright. That will dry really quick because art glitter glue does dry really fast. And I think to do one more thing, I want something a little frilly on the front of this. And I'm thinking maybe if that piece won't work. This will work, but I'm just wondering if I want this piece or do I want something a little bit different in color. So let me go in here and look. I really want something that's going to look great with that plaid. This would be pretty. This would definitely tie in all of those colors. And I think this would be pretty being frilly. Now let's check one thing and make sure that this will fit in here. And I think that will look beautiful on there. So it will fit just like that. So I'm going to lay this back over here to dry. And I am going to run this through my die. And this cut just like I wanted it to. And the good thing about this piece is if we don't like this side, we can flip it and do this side. So that makes this piece even more versatile. I'm going to get my little pick tool and make sure that all of these little holes are punched out. And sometimes you can see it better on the solid side than you can the floral side. And like I said, you could use this on either side. So what I want to do is I want to lay it on here and see how we're getting so much more dimension. Now let's turn it this way. You know, I like it better on that orange side, and I didn't think I would, but look at the beautiful leaves in the background of that. That is just lovely. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to turn this piece over. You know what? I may have changed my mind again, and I may want to put that down with this. And oh yeah, look how attractive that is. So, you know, never be afraid to try to switch your pieces around. Now let's look at it the other way. Let's look at it like this, and like this, and like that. That's way too busy. I really think that I like it like this. You know, y'all have watched me enough to know that I don't always go with the grain. Sometimes I go against the grain. And this is definitely one of those times. And it's okay. If you see that something's working better in another way than what you previously thought, there's no wrong in making it the way you want it. Okay, I am going to come over like so. And I am going to glue that down to my front. And I think this piece I want to pop up, or do I want this one down and this one popped? No, I want this one popped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on the back of this and stick it flat down. So I'm just going to use some art glitter glue for that. And I am going to lay this right inside of this beautiful little scalloped oval. Just like that. And I'm going to use some dimensional foam tape. I don't know if this means I've gotten halfway through my roll, but I've had this roll for 2 years. And I bought this when I went to Made-It-Con in 2018. Yeah, so it's been over 2 years, and I am just beginning to break into the other half of my roll of tape, which is really super good. Ah, there we go. I wonder why it did that. Aha! I see why. It was actually sealed together right here. So I was unrolling it the wrong way. Here's my piece here. So I am going to grab my little snips, and I'm going to cut off a piece about yay big. And I'm going to put this right in the center, with enough of space to put another little piece on the edge, maybe here. And I need a thinner piece right there. And let's do about this much. We're going to cut this one in half. And another little piece. I'm going to put that right there, and I'm going to cut this one in two. This is the good thing about having the foam tape. You can cut this in the dimensions that you need it to be. And oh my goodness, does a roll of that last you like forever. And it's not a cheap roll of tape, but when you think about the fact that you get that much use out of it, I do a lot of crafting because I do two YouTube videos plus my crafting for my own self. Not to mention when I am experimenting with a project, I use supplies on it as well. So a lot of times foam tape goes on it, you know, other dimensionals, glue, paper. I won't always use my favorite paper, and I do try to do my prototypes in just a basic white and try them out. Alright, I wonder now if we want to do the card landscape or portrait. I think I'm going to do it portrait because I have a couple of other ideas of what I want to do. I love that. Isn't that pretty? Give thanks. It's a very simple card, but it makes a statement. So the other thing that I thought would be cute, I have some punches with some leaves and acorns. And again, I do apologize. These are Stampin' Up, and I know I use a lot of Stampin' Up products, but it's because I have a lot of these because I do sell it. So, I'm trying to think if I want some little pumpkins down here or if I just want to punch out some of these in different colors. And I love, love, love this acorn. Let's try some acorns out of this piece right here. These look like they could be acorns. Look at that. Let's do about 3 acorns. And maybe we can put them kind of like that. And maybe one right here. And that really kind of ties in that polka dot paper that we used to frame this. And I think that's so cute. Now we need maybe an orange leaf. Let's see what we have in here in an orange. Oh, there's a beautiful red leaf. Remember we used these on another project that we had. So let's do one of these leaves. This is cute. That'll bring in a little bit of the red. And let's do, I don't think I want this color again. I want to do something a little bit more festive. How about this one? Let's do a leaf out of it. And that's a beautiful little oak leaf. Let's put him right there. Maybe another one. Oh, that's cute too. Look at that. Multicolored. I'm not sure about that. But let's do a couple leaves like that. And let's do one more of that, the maple leaf. Let's see if we can get in there enough to get one out. And why don't we put the acorn right there and the other leaf right there. I love that. I think it is so stinking cute. And it just screams a Thanksgiving card. So, let me, I'm going to grab some dimensionals because I have some mini dimensionals that will work perfect on these little leaves. And I'm just going to pop these up like this. And these are just little tiny dimensionals like that. I don't know if you can see that, but they will give you just enough of height that will make the card look so cute. Give it a little bit of life. I'm going to go ahead and get all of my pieces put down with my I don't know that these, I want both of them popped up. I think one up and one down. So we're going to do that one down with some glue. And then we'll pop this one up. Maybe like that. I think the acorns are just laying there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put glue flat on this leaf. Like that. And then we'll do a dimensional on this one. And we're going to turn him a little bit like this. And then we've got this acorn that's going to be up in the top. Like that. And about like that. Then this beautiful little leaf is going to go up on a dimensional. I love maple leaves. They are, you know, the red maple trees. Oh my goodness. To me, that's one of the most gorgeous trees in the fall. I love a beautiful red maple. Alright, now look how festive that looks. Is that not beautiful? So all we got to do now is work on our inside. And I think for the inside I'm going to do a beige or an off-white cream colored cardstock. And we're going to stamp a Thanksgiving greeting. So let me look through my stamps and see what I've got, and I will be right back. Okay everybody, I went ahead and cut a map for the inside of my card, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I went through my stamps, and this is a May stamp set, and it's titled Blessings. And this one has everything Thanksgiving. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. 1 Chronicles 16:34, with a grateful heart. And then you got give thanks in everything. Praise God from where all blessings flow. You've got all this beautiful leaves and things here that you can use. You've got this little cross with the wheat on each side. You have this little piece of wheat here and here. This set is adorable, and I love the scripture stamp set. So I went ahead and loaded up the give thanks and to the Lord, for He is good, His love endureth forever. I love that because there is nothing any more true. I'm going to use a Stampin' Up ink Early Espresso to stamp this, because I think it will coordinate real well with the colors of the card that we have going. I think the Early Espresso will be perfect for this. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up. And I am going to pull over my Stampin' mat, because this just makes photopolymer stamps so much better, because it gives you that cushion. If you ever wonder why cling stamps stamp so well, it's because they have that cushion built in. So I'm going to put this up a little bit to the top and get it centered as best I can. And then I'm just going to press it. Some nice gentle pressure on this. And lift. I love that. That is very, very pretty. I think it depicts exactly what we are saying with the give thanks. I'm trying to decide if I want that or if I want to punch another couple leaves and put inside of here. But you know what? I don't think I do. I think I want to leave it as is. Did y'all see what I just did? I went to pull this and my ink pad got away from me, and of course I made a mess. So let me not touch nothing until I clean up my mess. Oh my goodness. So I just want y'all to know that this happens even on camera. I'm not going to cut this out because I think all of you will get a good hoot out of that one. alcohol wipe. Look at that. It cleans every bit of that ink off. I'm also going to clean my ink pad itself off because I did get ink on it trying to close it up. So I'm just going to set that over there and let it dry. But if you take some baby wipes and pour a cup of rubbing alcohol inside, you can make yourself some of these wipes, and I'm here to tell you, they work wonderful. Whatever you get ink on, you can clean it off with one of those and save yourself a big headache of having ink all over your hands and everything else. I mean, it cleaned that ink off of my hands. You can't even tell that I dropped an ink pad on me. I want a little tiny bit of that orange to kind of show around the edges a little bit more. So I'm going to take my stub and scallop punch, and I think I'm going to do the stub side, and I'm just going to put this in and just give it a tiny little whack on each one of these corners. Oops. And I think this will just give this card a little extra interest on the corners. And you know, everything is in the details, so I'm going to use that snail runner again to put this card down. Just like that. Oops. I am just Butterfingers today for some reason. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in like so. Just like that. And press it down. And now that is ready to go. Beautiful little card. It was so simple. I mean, this is what I would call a wow card that really wasn't a lot of trouble. It might look a little dark, but I think it's so pretty. I love the colors. I love the sentiment. There is just nothing about this card that I don't think is so attractive. I love the browns and the orange and sort of that lighter brown. I just think it's beautiful, and I hope y'all liked it. And again, this was made using the E-Club kit from Edith Ray, Scrapbooking with Me, and the Me is a capital M-E, and it stands for Melina, her daughter, and E for Edith. So, Scrapbooking with Me, Edith Ray is an awesome teacher, and I feel so blessed for her to ask me to be on her design team. And I hope that all of you enjoy these cards that I make from her club kit. There are several of us on the design team, and if you are a member of the club kit, then you will get in your mailing every month for your kit, you will get a printout that shows all of our channels. And if you will go and support each one of these ladies, Melina does a channel, of course Edith does a channel, I do a channel, and I believe there are 2 or 3 other ladies that also do their thing. And we all, I never look at their channels because I don't want to be influenced by what they do. I want to do my own thing and design my cards the way I like them to be. So, and I'll use a variety of products in my videos. I'll use some Stampin' Up, I'll use some generic, but I'll always try to make the cards easy and doable for you. So I thank you so much for joining me and watching today. And if you are watching and you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Also, I have a Stampin' Up channel called Random Acts of Stampin', and it's Stampin' with a S-T-A-M-P-I-N, just like Stampin' Up. And if you'll go over and support that channel, you will see some other gorgeous cards that I make. Let me preview a couple of my Christmas cards that I just recently put up. Here are some of the last 4 cards that I did, and I thought this might be a good time for y'all to see these. So if you want instructions on how to make these, and also a product list of supplies that you can purchase if you like, go over and check out my Stampin' Up channel. I'll link it below, and let me zoom out a little bit. Oops, so you can see all of them. But these cards are so much fun to make, and they're all made with using Stampin' Up! Products. And the poinsettia petals, how pretty is that? This is the very same card, just done in different colors, and the sentiment done a different way. So, and the same with this. I used the same die set for this one as I did for this one. I just changed up my colors, and I thought they both turned out so pretty. And that's just a couple of the cards that I've done recently. I also do some things with the paper pumpkin, and I don't know if you're familiar with paper pumpkin or not, but I did the slimline card using a couple of the Stampin' die sets, and this was so much fun to make. And this is a card that is definitely going to one of my grandchildren. It is just so much fun, and I think any child would love to get that. But take a look over there and see what you think. I would appreciate your support on both of my channels. Now, if you've already subscribed to this channel and my other channel, God bless you. I appreciate you so much, and I thank you for being a part of my crafty family. I love you all very much, and until we craft again, may God bless and keep you. And remember, as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. And until we craft again, bye-bye.